Today on Sugar Spun Run, I'll be showing you how to make homemade peanut butter balls. Hey Sugar Spun Bakers, Sam here, and today I'm so excited to be sharing another carefully tested, well-researched, and perfected recipe. Now, today's recipe is not the same as my Buckeyes, which I have shared before and which I will make sure to link to in the blog post in case you are looking for those. Instead, these have a very different flavor, a whole different dimension to them, and that is thanks to the addition of cream cheese. Now, let's go ahead and get started, and you are going to need 4 ounces of softened cream cheese for today's recipe. Now, we're gonna add this to a mixing bowl, and I'd also like to add 2 tablespoons of softened butter as well. For today's recipe, you're either going to want to use a stand mixer or an electric hand mixer, which is what I'm going to be using today. We are going to begin by creaming together the cream cheese and the butter until it's nice and smooth. The next thing you're going to need is 3/4 cup of creamy peanut butter. I do not recommend using the natural varieties of peanut butter where the oil separates to the top, just because it can make the peanut butter balls a little bit greasy. Add our peanut butter and we'll cream everything together until it's nicely combined. All right, next I have 2 cups of powdered sugar, and I'm just going to gradually stir this into my peanut butter mixture until it's combined. You wanna go pretty slowly with this. Actually didn't mean to add quite that much at once. And just keep your mixer on low speed in the beginning, that way the sugar doesn't go flying everywhere. While I'm mixing, I'm also going to add my vanilla extract. You'll need a teaspoon of vanilla for today's recipe. We'll stir that in as well. So this dough looks a little bit crumbly. I want to make sure that the sugar is completely absorbed, but if yours is looking a little crumbly and piecey like this, I want to show you something. You're just going to want to grab a spoon or a spatula, and if you can form it into a ball, if it's clinging together very nicely, then you are good to go. I'm just going to scrape everything together so I have a nice cohesive powder right here. Okay, now we're going to scoop this dough into tablespoon-sized balls. I have a tablespoon-sized cookie scoop that I'm going to be using. I'm just going to make a level scoop, and then I'm just going to roll it between my palms until I have a nice smooth ball. Now, once you've rolled your dough, you're going to want to place it on a wax paper lined baking sheet. Now, if your dough is sticky or greasy to work with, you can pop it in the fridge for about 5 to 10 minutes just to make it more manageable, but it really shouldn't be too wet. Now, I like the peanut butter balls to chill in the fridge while I'm preparing the chocolate, and you want to let them firm up a little bit before you dip them. So I like to do this on several different trays. For today's video, we're just going to be working with 1 tray at a time. I'm going to pop this in the fridge and let it chill for 20 minutes. All right, now of course, these need a nice chocolate coating on top. So once the peanut butter balls have finished chilling, we are going to prep that chocolate. Now, you could just melt chocolate chips or melt any kind of chocolate you'd like, but unfortunately, chocolate, unless it's tempered properly, tends to leave you with some white streaking that you might notice on the surface. Today, I'm going to show you how to avoid that chalky white streaking, and we're going to be tempering our chocolate. Now, you're going to need a medium-sized heat-proof bowl, and you're going to need 12 ounces of quality chocolate. These are not chocolate chips. I know they look like them. This is actually couverture chocolate. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong, but you can use either couverture chocolate or you can use a chopped premium chocolate bar, and I like to use dark or semi-sweet chocolate. Now I'll add this into my large bowl or my medium-sized bowl, and we are going to very slowly heat our chocolate in the microwave. The first time, I'm gonna take it over to the microwave and heat it for 25 seconds. After 25 seconds, we're gonna give this a nice stir. As you can see, it looks like nothing's happened. You're still going to want to stir anyway. We'll pop this back in the microwave for another 15 seconds, and we are just going to remove it every 15 seconds and keep stirring. The key to tempering chocolate is making sure that it does not get above a certain heat. You do not want the chocolate to exceed 91 degrees Fahrenheit at all. At the same time, you need it to be above 87 degrees Fahrenheit. So you are going to need a thermometer, and we are just going to keep slowly heating the chocolate. Okay, now at this point, my chocolate is mostly melted. You can see there are some discernible pieces left. However, I am worried about my chocolate getting too hot, so I don't want to pop it back in the microwave. I just want to keep on stirring it and see if I can get that chocolate to melt just from the heat of the chocolate that's already melted. You can see I have a nice smooth chocolate here after that stirring. So let's grab our thermometer and we're going to check the temperature of it. And we are right in that sweet spot. I like to see about 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and you do not want it to go over 90 degrees. So now we can go ahead and quickly dip our chocolate. Now to do this, I have these little candy tools here, this little fork that I'm going to be using, but you can use a regular kitchen fork if you don't have one. And what I'll do is I'll take the peanut butter ball, a chilled peanut butter ball, and I'll dip the bottom because I want to make sure I get that covered. I'll place it on the fork, then I'll just grab a spoon and just drizzle the chocolate over the surface of the peanut butter ball. And then I have this little pointy candy tool that's really not meant for this purpose, but I like to use it to just gently slide off the candy onto the wax paper lined baking sheet. If you don't have one of these, you can just use a knife instead, that would be fine. All right, now we'll finish with the rest of the peanut butter balls here, but I do want to note that I like to do this in batches, so after I finish my first tray of peanut butter balls, I will recheck the chocolate and I'll try to get it back in that temperature sweet spot again by using the microwave before I do my next round of peanut butter balls. Now I do want to note that chocolate is difficult to temper. It does take a little bit of patience and a little bit of practice and understanding how chocolate works. So don't stress out if the next day you do have some white streaks in your chocolate. Just chalk it up to a lesson learned. Your candy's still going to be delicious, and next time you'll probably have better results. Now because of the cream cheese, I do like to store these in the refrigerator, and once I'm finished dipping them, I'll pop them right back in the fridge and I'll let that chocolate harden before I enjoy. All right, and once they have chilled and the chocolate has hardened, you shouldn't have any white streaks. They should be nice and smooth with a glossy chocolate, and they're gonna be so good. I hope you guys enjoyed today's recipe video, and if you try this one out, please let me know what you think. I always love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. I love these.